Afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Today we are going to discuss about the posture. Posture, I think in second year I have taught you the a few basics of posture. So we will discuss in detail about posture. So posture, there are many definitions are there. It's basically alignment of one body segment over the other. Simple definition is this alignment of body segments, one body segment over the other. So here there are different types are there: static posture, dynamic posture. Example for static posture is sitting, standing, lying, kneeling. These are some examples for static posture. And dynamic posture is running, walking, so and so. And here today we will be discussing about optimal posture. What is optimal posture? In sagittal plane, the line of gravity, it transacts the human, uh, uh, the line of gravity transacts the joints at different levels. Again, I'll repeat. In sagittal plane, the line of gravity, the line of gravity, center of gravity is where the center of gravity is. Center of gravity is present around the vicinity of the second sacral vertebra. Vicinity of the second sacral vertebra. That is the center of gravity of human body. And what is line of gravity? Line of gravity, it passes through the center of gravity. And this line of gravity, it transacts line of gravity, it transects the body, or it transects the joints at different levels. Clear? So the line of gravity, it transects the body at different. Imagine this dotted line is the line of gravity. Clear? So it crosses or it transects the body at different levels. Clear? So what is optimal posture? Optimal posture is in an optimal standing posture, the line of gravity is close. The line of gravity is close to, but not through most joint axis. Clear? What does it mean? In optimal standing, when the posture is called as optimal posture, there are good posture, bad posture, and optimal posture. Clear? So, what is optimal posture? In optimal posture, the line of gravity, that is this one, the line of gravity, it the line of gravity is close, clear, to the joint axis, or line of gravity is close to the joint axis. This is optimal posture. So example, for example, we will take this example. That is, I am talking about this joint, ankle joint. So here, the line of gravity, this line of gravity is passing close to the axis, joint axis. Clear? It is passing close to the joint axis. Suppose if this line of gravity is passing somewhere here, then it is not called as an optimal posture. Clear? The line of gravity should be as close as possible. Clear? Then the posture is called as optimal posture. So what is the importance of this? See, there are two types of this line of gravity. This line of gravity creates a movement which is called as gravitational movement. Gravitational movement. Again, I'll repeat this sentence. Line of gravity, when the line of gravity is passing, three examples are, I will tell three examples. Clear? It is, diagram is given in your book. 1 second. No, it's not given. No. Okay. See, I'll give three examples. Imagine this is a knee joint. This is patella. Here. So in knee joint, if you take knee joint, the axis, it passes through, that is posterior to the patella. Clear? Posterior to the patella. Okay. Here you can see. Here will be the patella and this is axis. So the in knee joint, the axis it passes anterior to the knee joint axis and posterior to the patella. Clear? Anterior to the axis and posterior to the patella. This is the line of gravity in optimal posture. Clear? So where is the line of gravity here? This is the line of gravity. This is axis and this is patella. So anterior to patella, anterior to the axis and posterior to patella. Clear? So here we are talking in optimal posture. In optimal posture, the line of gravity passes posterior to the what? Patella and anterior to the knee joint axis. So here the proximal segment, which is proximal segment here, this one is proximal segment. Proximal segment will try to move towards the line of gravity. Listen carefully. The proximal segment will try to move towards the line of gravity. Suppose if, imagine if this is a single segment. Imagine this is a single segment. Clear? this is center of gravity of the object, and if the line of gravity is passing somewhere here, what do you think? The object will be stable or unstable? In example A, imagine this is the center of gravity and this is line of gravity. What do you think? The object will be stable or unstable? Yes. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
What is the answer? Stable or unstable?
Stable.
Stable. So what are the criteria for an object to be stable? There are three criteria are there. What is it? For an object to be stable, three criteria are there. What is it? First point.
Base of support should be
Yes.
wide.
Base of support should be large.
It should be wide, yes. Center of gravity should be fallen in base of support.
No, center of gravity should be as low as possible. As low as possible. Then what is third point? Line of gravity
should be fallen base of support.
within base of
Base of support.
okay. You can mute. So if in this situation, object will be stable and unstable will be opposite. Okay. So now imagine second example. This is A and second is B. Now you imagine this is an object. This is center of gravity. Imagine if the line of gravity is passing somewhere here, or the object is slightly tilted. You can take like this. And this is center of gravity and this is line of gravity. So now what will happen? The object will move towards line of gravity. Object will move towards line of gravity. Clear? It is not passing through the center of gravity. Now the line of gravity is not passing clear. So object will move towards the line of gravity. So this is an example for a single segment. So what we have taken an example of knee joint. We have taken an example of knee joint where it can able to move around knee joint. That is axis is around the knee joint. So in this case, if the line of gravity, so here we discussed in this example, clear. So where is the axis? This is the axis. Where is the line of gravity? This is line of gravity. So now what will happen? So here the segment is not single segment. Here it is two. One is femur, other is tibia. So there is the movement will occur around the knee joint or the axis around the knee joint. So in this case, what will happen? Proximal segment will try to move towards line of gravity. So what is proximal segment here? Proximal segment is femur. And where is line of gravity? Line of gravity is here. This is proximal segment and this is line of gravity.
Now you see what has happened. Femur has moved towards the line of gravity. Clear? So this movement is called as gravitational movement. Gravitational movement. Why? The movement has occurred because of line of gravity. Clear? Suppose if the line of gravity is falling behind the knee, posterior side, what will happen? This segment, proximal segment, will try to move towards the line of gravity. Clear? So again, this movement is called gravitational movement. So what is gravitational movement? The gravitational movement is the movement created line of gravity. Clear? So now this gravitational movement will be zero if the line of gravity is passing through the axis. Listen carefully. So I will draw three diagrams, 1, 2 and 3. Same knee joint. This is axis. In first example, the line of gravity is passing through the axis. Second example, this is patella. This is patella. Second example is the line of gravity is passing at a distance. And third is the line of gravity is passing at a large distance. So this is three examples I had given, A, B and C. So in A, the gravitational movement will be zero. Why? Because the line of gravity is passing through the axis. So the gravitational torque, the torque produced by the muscle or the gravitational torque will be nil, zero. Here, the proximal segment will move towards the line of gravity and the gravitational torque will be present, but it is minimum. And in third example, the gravitational torque will be maximum because the distance between the axis of rotation and the line of gravity is large. So what does it mean? The gravitational torque, it depends on the distance between axis of rotation and the line of gravity. Clear? So now coming back to our example, what is optimal posture? Optimal posture is a posture, and I have told there are three postures are there: good posture, bad posture, and optimal posture. So my question is, what is the difference between good posture and optimal posture? You know what is good posture? You know what is bad posture? What is bad posture? If the line of gravity is far, from the axis of rotation. Suppose this is axis of rotation. Suppose if line of gravity is somewhere here, it is bad posture. Optimal posture is the line of gravity is as close as possible. Then the posture is called as optimal posture. Clear? So here you will be studying or you will be analyzing the posture. Now you see, read this sentence. In optimal posture or in optimal standing posture, line of gravity is close, but not through most of the joint axis. The line of gravity transects the joint at different level. Clear? You had seen in this diagram, here it has the line of gravity is transecting the joint at different level. In some joint, here it passes through the axis. Now, if you take this as a cervical and thoracic vertebra, each and every vertebra it has an axis. Clear? The line of gravity, it transacts, it passes through the axis in some places. Clear? Like here, if you see, it passes through the axis. But in other joint, it is not passing through the axis. It is not passing through the axis. It is passing away from the axis. Some joint it passes through the axis, but it does not pass through all the joint axis. Clear? That is what mentioned here. In optimal posture, in an optimal standing posture, line of gravity is close to some joint and it passes through the joint in some other places. Clear? Therefore, the external gravitational movements are relatively small. What is gravitational movement? I have told these are the movement created by the line of gravity. Clear? In some joints it is small and in some other joint it is large. So basically it depends upon the distance of the line of gravity. Suppose if you take this vertebra, imagine this is the vertebrae. So when you take this segment, axis is, line of gravity is passing at a small distance. When you take this segment, you see the line of gravity is far from the axis of rotation. Are you getting what I am saying?
Yes, sir.
So here in A, the gravitational movement will be present, but it will be minimum. Why? Because line of gravity is close to the axis of rotation. In example B, the gravitational movement will be large because line of gravity is far away from the axis of rotation. Okay, so this, in optimal posture, this gravitational movement are opposed by some other torque, or they are balanced by the internal movements. So what are they? They are passive capsular and active muscular. So passive tension, or otherwise called as a passive opposing force. So this gravitational movement are opposed by certain factors. They are called as opposing force. They are opposed by certain forces. They are called passive opposing force and active opposing force. So what is the gravitational movement in this example? Femur will move in this direction. Clear? This is called gravitational torque. So what is this movement called as? It is called as an hyperextension. In optimal posture, the femur will have the gravitational moment is hyperextension of the knee. This movement or this gravitational moment is opposed by other force. And if you want to stand erect, or if you want to maintain the posture, if you want to balance, then what will happen? What should happen? This gravitational force should be opposed by the opposite force. It's called as an opposing force. And this opposing force, there are two types of opposing force. One is called as an active opposing force. Passive opposing force and active opposing force. So this passive opposing force is provided by here it is mentioned, clear? So internal force, passive and active forces are internal force. Gravitational force is an external force, clear? So this passive opposing force is given is by capsules, ligaments, clear? So in your book, there is a tabulation is given. You can go through the tabulation in last page. I think it's given. In analysis of posture, you can. One second. Here it is given. Passive opposing force, active opposing force. So you have to study this. This tabulation is important. So we were studying knee joint. In knee joint, where is the line of gravity? In optimal posture. This is optimal posture. In optimal posture, line of gravity, it transects the joint in different places. Clear? Different joints. So we are studying, we were studying knee joint. In knee joint, the line of gravity is passing anterior to the axis of rotation. Clear? And what is the movement created? External movement is nothing but gravitational movement. External movement is called as gravitational movement. So what is the external movement, or what is the gravitational movement? Gravitational movement is extension. Extension of the knee. It is not actually extension, it is hyperextension. And we have already discussed, it is hyperextension. So this hyperextension or this gravitational movement is opposed by two forces. Clear? What will happen if this force is not opposing? If this force is not opposing, the person may fall. Clear? In order to prevent the fall, some other forces, that is internal force, has to oppose this gravitational force. And which force is opposing? There are two forces are there. Passive opposing force and active opposing force. Normally, the passive opposing force is by ligament and capsule. And capsule. An active opposing force is provided by muscle. Clear? So in knee joint, what is the passive opposing force? Opposing force. That is posterior joint capsule. Posterior joint capsule is the opposing force. which is opposing the hyperextension. And what is the active opposing force? Hamstrings and gastrocnemius muscle. So you remember, you try to read this tabulation here. So here I will explain in this diagram. Here. This is axis. So 3 points we discussed. Where is the line of gravity? Line of gravity is anterior. Anterior to the axis of rotation. So what is the gravitational or external movement? This is external movement. Because already I have told, the proximal segment will try to move towards the gravity line or towards the line of gravity. So this movement is called as external movement or gravitational movement. So what is the movement? It is hyperextension. It is hyperextension. So this movement is opposed by two forces. So what are the forces? Two forces, passive force and active force. What is the passive force? Posterior joint capsule. And what is the active opposing force? Gastrocnemius and soleus muscle. Soleus muscle will try to keep the joint in the neutral position. Clear? So likewise, you have to study in each and every joint. So I have taught you for knee joint, and if you go to ankle joint, so this is ankle joint. So ankle joint, again you will discuss what is the position of line of gravity, what is the position of line of gravity, what is the gravitational movement or external movement, and what are the opposing forces, what are the passive opposing force, what are the active opposing forces. So here if you see in the tabulation, again I will go to the table. You see the ankle joint. In ankle joint, where is the line of gravity? The line of gravity is anterior. Line of gravity is passing anterior to the axis of rotation of ankle joint. And what is the gravitational movement or external movement? Dorsiflexion. And there is no passive opposing force. There is no passive opposing force. So what is the active opposing force? Active opposing force is muscle. Soleus and gastrocnemius is the active opposing forces. Clear? So this is axis of rotation. Line of gravity is passing anterior. What is gravitational movement? External movement. So here proximal segment is tibia. When the line of gravity is passing anterior, proximal segment will try to move forward. This movement is called as dorsiflexion. So dorsiflexion movement is called as an external movement or gravitational movement. So normally when you are standing erect or in optimal posture, the tibia will try to move forward. The tibia will try to move forward, but it does not happen. Why? Because the passive opposing force will keep the leg in the balanced position. Clear? This is gravitational movement or external movement, and this is opposing force. What are the opposing force? There are two opposing force. One is active and one is passive and active. In case of ankle joint, there is no passive opposing force. So what is the active opposing force? Active opposing force is the soleus muscle and gastrocnemius muscle. So what is soleus? Where is the soleus attachment? You know, soleus and gastrocnemius. Clear? This is the muscle. So this muscle will act in reverse direction and it will try to bring to the neutral position. So this is about ankle joint. Clear? So you go through the table. So you may get question individual joint, or you may get collective question collectively. That is ankle joint, knee joint, and hip joint, sacroiliac joint. Hip joint I will teach today, and the rest we will discuss in the next class. So hip joint, what is the position of line of gravity? It is posterior. The position of line of gravity with respect to axis of rotation is posterior. Clear? And what is the movement, external movement or gravitational movement? It is extension. Passive opposing force is by ligaments. And active opposing force is by muscle. Okay. Now coming to hip joint. So here is the hip joint. This is axis, which is anterior here. One second. Anterior is, this is anterior and this is posterior. Sacrum is here. Clear? So the line of gravity, it passes posterior. The line of gravity in the tabulation we discussed. In optimal posture. I am not talking bad posture, I am not talking good posture. I am talking optimal posture. In optimal posture, the line of gravity, it passes posterior. I had marked in red color. Line of axis of rotation I had marked in. This is axis of rotation. Clear? It passes line of gravity, it passes posterior to the axis of rotation. So in this example, what is proximal segment? Pelvis is the proximal segment and femur is the distal segment. So what will happen? Already I have told, the proximal segment will try to move towards the line of gravity. So in this example, the pelvis will try to move in this direction. That is, which we call it as extension movement of the hip. And posterior pelvic tilt is nothing but extension at the hip joint. Clear? If femur is moving posterior, if pelvis is stable, and if femur is moving back, it is called as an extension movement. So what this is called as an open kinematic movement. It's open kinematic. When proximal is fixed and distal is moving, it is open chain. And in opposite, if femur is fixed and pelvis is moving, it is also called as an extension, but here it is closed chain. And it's closed chain movement. Closed chain extension movement. So what is the gravitational movement here occurring? It is extension of hip. The movement occurring in the hip joint is extension. Clear? And what are the ligaments opposing? The ligaments, I think ligament diagram is not given. Okay. So what are the opposing force? Passive opposing forces, active I will show. What is active opposing force? Iliopsoas. Active is muscle. Passive is ligament. So you know this is the attachment of iliopsoas. Clear? This is attachment of iliopsoas. So the gravitational movement is trying to tilt the pelvis posteriorly, and iliopsoas muscle will act in this direction, and it will try to bring the pelvis anteriorly. So this is called opposing force. So what is the active opposing force? It is iliacus muscle. Iliacus muscle is the active opposing force. And what is passive opposing force? Passive opposing force is iliofemoral ligament. And active is iliopsoas muscle. Any doubt? Any doubt? So what we discussed today is what is posture, what is optimal posture, what is optimal posture? Optimal posture, in optimal posture, the line of gravity, it passes as close as possible to the axis of joint. That is called optimal posture. So if the line of gravity passes through the axis, then gravitational force or gravitational moment will be zero. Intensity of gravitational torque increases. Listen carefully this sentence. Intensity of gravitational moment increases as the line of gravity, the distance between the line of gravity and the axis of rotation increases. Intensity of gravitational movement increases as the distance between axis of rotation and line of gravity increases. As the line of gravity increases, intensity of the gravitational movement will increase. Clear? And we discussed what is in ankle joint, it passes anterior. Dorsiflexion is the gravitational moment. There is no active opposing force. An active it is anterior. Gravitational moment is hyperextension. Passive is capsule. Active is hamstring and gastrocnemius. And hip joint we discussed, axis is posterior to the axis of rotation. Gravitational moment is extension, that is close kinematic extension. Ligament, that is passive opposing force, is iliofemoral ligament, and active is iliopsoas. Clear? So rest we will discuss in next class. Any doubt?
No, sir.